Hello, everybody, and welcome along to this week's Woolcast. This week, of a slight different lineup. We're welcoming Phil onto the show this week with Gav and Jonathan. And I know we usually start with an opening question, but fuck that. There's been too much going on today, and there's only one place I want to start, gentlemen, and that's with Big Virg. He's after handing in a transfer request, and he's after slapping his balls down on the table and saying, "I want out of this gaff immediately." Phil, what's your take on that? What's happening?
It's about time, isn't it? I think somebody raised a really valid point on Twitter actually before. Apologies for not remembering who it was, but someone said that if he wanted Chelsea, he wouldn't have needed to hand in a transfer request because Southampton would have liked to negotiate with Chelsea rather than us.
I'm going to say that was me, because it was me, but I will also say that I robbed it from at least 10 other people.
That's fine. Yeah, well, it's fine. Take credit for it. It's all yours. Well done. But no, I mean, I think the fact that he's handed in a transfer request now says that he's probably just as sick of this as we are, if not more. This transfer has been coming for way too long. Let's just get on with it now. Everyone was saying, well, listen, if you want to play for us, then looks like you're going to have to hand in a transfer request, so go and crack on with it. And he's done exactly that, so ball's in FSG's court now. Get on with it. Now,
Jonathan, Phil says get on with it. What's your take?
Yeah, something similar. He's just reading the statement that he put out. To say he doesn't hold back is a complete understatement. It is pretty much saying, just let me join Liverpool. That's all the request is short of saying. He digs into pretty much everybody in the club. Even come back to the former manager there as well. He's really much playing the game. I think he's realised that he's playing a big game with Southampton at the moment, and he's really put the ball back on their court now. So if this flows along nicely as we would hope it would, you would hope that there would be an official bid going in this week, and hopefully we can get this one wrapped up soon. It would be very hard to see him being involved in Watford, but it would be nice to have the deal done by then, so he could be maybe looking at the following weekend, with Palace at the following weekend, and certainly come into the Champions League ties as well, because you only have to watch your performance defensively. Dublin there at the weekend, just to realise just how badly we need him to come in to shore things up. Yeah, but it's a welcome development though. It would have been nice if this move had came previously, but look, you know the way these negotiations hang on. He was probably playing a game of poker, trying to hold on to his loyalty bonuses and whatnot. But
he was injured as well, wasn't he? So he wouldn't have had that much involvement in pre-season anyway.
Agreed, yeah. But look, to me, it's a clear sign that look, he's desperate to join Liverpool, and it looks like we're desperate to sign him. So let's hope two parties can come together, and another big payday hopefully for Southampton from us.
Yeah, I don't understand why they hate us so much, Jonathan. We fucking funded their club for the past 3 or 4 years at this point.
Yeah, and plus, like, you know, look, there's irony all sides. The haters, I just laugh at, because, like, do Celtic fans hate them for robbing their best player off him, and so on and so on? Like,
they sold us. They sold us fucking Lovren, and did they go out and buy Van Dijk then?
I think it was a year later, wasn't it?
So it was pretty much our money in some way or another.
Well, you take your pick of all the deals that have happened there the last couple of years. That I've bought some really good players for them, but
we just need to hire their recruitment team and save ourselves a fortune.
What if we just said to them, look, give us Van Dijk and we'll give you one of our famous promises that we won't come back for any of your players for at least 3 years. You know our promises are good.
I think though, joking aside, I think it really has to be a case of pay Southampton the extra bit of money for him, and then just never again, guys, never again, because I don't think the club will be able to go through another battle like that. Like this, you think back to the time of the statement where it was released and the threat of the charges of the FA and the investigation and whatnot. Just how much grief they've caused us. So it really has to be a case of, I don't care who. If they have Messi playing for them, we have to look elsewhere.
See, I'm a bit of a snide fucker. I'd be different. I'd make up interest in a player just to piss them off. So I'd be like, that Gabbiadini's looking pretty damn good, isn't he?
Just turn up at every single one of their games and scout them out.
Yeah, just have a permanent scout there working away. But yeah, look, let's hope the deal edges through. you'd hope that this is the chain reaction now that they realise, because look, as you guys said and many other people have said online, he didn't need the transfer request if he was going to join Chelsea. They were more than willing to accept that deal. So let's hope, if it's 75 or whatever, to be honest, I don't care how much money it is. I just want it wrapped up because we desperately need him.
Gav, one thing we might all be overlooking here is just because he's put in a transfer request, it doesn't necessarily mean we're all assuming Southampton are going to cave, but they may not, Gav.
No, they may not. The lads have touched on things there with regards to if he wanted Chelsea, it could have been done. I think there's still a long way to go on it. Southampton don't want to do business with us. It's as simple as that. They really don't. Klopp's made a comment yesterday saying, no, he's okay with us for the centre halves. We don't have to do anything. But on the flip side, he said transfers don't only depend on us, they depend on other clubs. To me, it sounds like the word's got to Van Dijk that, listen, there's only one way this can be done, and it's a transfer request, and Liverpool will look after you nicely with your wages and signing on fees and everything else, because he will lose loyalty bonuses, won't he, if he's handed in a transfer request. They don't have to accept it, but I think with the way he's been training on his own, not gone on tour, basically exiled from the squad, they're not going to I don't think they're going to turn around and say, no, you're not getting a transfer. I think everyone knows that he wants to go. They know where he wants to go. But having said that, he puts in a transfer request, and even if they do accept it, can Southampton say anything to us if we come in and put a bid in for him after declaring no interest in him 6 weeks ago or whatever it was? It's still a bit messy for me. I'm in agreement with Jonathan. You pay whatever you need to pay. I still think he'd become a Liverpool player, but to be perfectly honest with you, I've stopped caring. I really have. I just want Saturday to come and football to resume for Liverpool, proper football to resume. But if I had to put a marker down on it, I'd say he probably does become a Liverpool player. But I think this might drag on more than people think. I think today you're seeing, we put in a transfer request and people welcoming the Van Dijk to Liverpool now. I don't think that's that straightforward. The only thing I will say is it put a little bit of a halt on the absolute mayhem that's going on Twitter over the last 24 to 48 hours, which was scandalous stuff. But it's fueled conspiracy theories. So, look, no matter what happens, you just don't go online, is my advice. Just wait to hear Liverpool announce him. Because other than that, it's an absolute, it's fucking madness, to be perfectly honest with you. But he probably will sign for Liverpool, but I don't think it's as straightforward as people think.
Phil, Gav has touched on the mayhem of the past 24, 48 hours, and to be honest, at times LFC Twitter is not the happiest place on earth. But what I was wondering was, are LFC supporters different to any other sets of fans? Like, are we a special breed of lunatic, or does this happen within every fan base?
I think it happens to some degree within some fan bases. I think there are clubs that are extremely passionate. I think there are other clubs, and I won't name them because that's not fair, but I think there are other clubs, perhaps even further down our own league, that their fans just aren't as passionate. So therefore it's not as emotional. They're not as emotionally invested. I don't know about you guys, but my kind of attitude towards Liverpool, and it seems to be sort of replicated by thousands on Twitter, is that, Liverpool affects my every being, my entire mood. If we win, I'm chuffed and I'm buzzing and I'm walking on air until our next game. If we draw, I'm sort of neutral. Depends on the draw, I guess. But if we lose, I'm a horrible bastard to be around. And Twitter kind of almost feels the same. If you go on Twitter after a loss, it's like, fire everyone. He should never play for us again. He should be shot. And it does get a bit dramatic. So I think whilst Gav's advice is excellent, I think it will fall on deaf ears. I don't think anyone's going to sit and wait for their transfer. I think they're going to get their ass on Twitter and they're going to look for every scrap of hope and information from any Twitter account possible. And what I have found about Liverpool fans, and this is the God's honest truth, if we've got positive news, nobody believes it. It's total bollocks. the second there's a negative piece of news on there, Coutinho's gone to Barca or whatever, and it could be from an account that's got like 10 followers and it's like an egg profile picture, everyone suddenly believes it. Someone said something negative, it's got to be true.
Well, that's what I wanted to come back to Gav with on this one is we don't need much bad news to jump immediately, Gav, to the worst case scenario, do we?
No, we don't need news at all. It's not whether it's bad or good. We don't need news. Literally, someone makes something up in their own head and runs with it, and people just believe it. And then they'll make something else up 20 minutes later, and people will believe it. I think I've seen something today where Sky Sports put out 2 tweets about Coutinho. One was that Liverpool are not selling, and Klopp and FSG are under the agreement that no matter what, he won't be sold, and Coutinho hasn't asked to leave. And 20 minutes later, they put up another tweet saying Barcelona have agreed a deal with Coutinho's representatives, and Coutinho has told Liverpool that he wants to leave if it can be amicable, and the owners are listening to the offer. So that's the same account, 20 minutes apart.
They also wailed out Guillaume Balaguer as well at some point to have his say on this.
Listen, if he says it's black, it's fucking white. All right.
He loves me. He blocked me on Twitter back in about 2011 because I collated a load of shit that he'd said and sent it to him on a I can't remember what it was now. You know when you on the iPhone when you got notes, and I took a picture of the whole thing and I basically put what he'd said and what the outcome was, and it was the complete opposite every time. And I went to get an answer from him and saw that I was blocked. So that was quite a proud moment.
His classic was Klopp, wasn't it? He said that Klopp won't go to Liverpool, he'll go to Bayern at the end of the year, and it was, is it Roger Schmidt? Is that the name of the manager in Germany? It would be him that would Liverpool will be looking for, and of course, about 20 minutes later, Liverpool announced Klopp. But no, they don't need any news. And like I had a bit of a laugh online there today with one who was it? A guy, Shawnee. I had a bit of a laugh with him.
He's go fun, to be fair. Shawnee's a nice lad.
Yeah, Shawnee is sound. Basically, we were just saying the Liverpool don't deserve good things, and look, we don't deserve Van Dijk because we let Joe Allen and Lucas go, and Ian Ayre is basically the hero behind this. He must have pushed his bike from Berlin to Southampton to be the hero in this, and his Fitbit has smoke coming out of it because of the amount of steps he's taken. You're better off just having a laugh with it. You really are. Like, just listen, have a laugh, and most of them can't be believed. You know, supposed ITK's journalists, nothing has come from them over the last week because they know nothing. It's as simple as that. And look, when a club, and I always go back to Leipzig. Leipzig, apparently Keita isn't for sale, but they just keep telling everyone that. So why don't you just say it once and disappear?
Yeah,
but they don't. They want the limelight because they want the attention, and that transfer is still on, in my opinion. Because no information on that. It's just because of the way they're carrying on. And look, just wait until one club announces them, or one club actually just comes out and says no, not for sale, end of story, and go with that.
Phil, you wanted to jump back in?
You know, it's supposed to be fun, isn't it? We watch. Yes, okay, we're passionate and everything else, but you watch sport for fun. It's a relief from everything else that's going on in your life. And I hate transfer windows because we spend the whole time stressing. We're worried about who's leaving. We're annoyed about who's not coming in. And we just get caught up in the media mind games. I mean, sometimes it works in our favour. Other times it doesn't. I mean, Gav, you just said about the Keita deal. You know, they're always talking in the press. And that's being leaked from the club with a specific PR spin. Exactly the same as when it works in our favour, like the Jamie Carragher comment earlier today, when he's come out and said that if Phil Coutinho leaves Liverpool, there'll be riots and the fans will turn against FSG. But you think he just accidentally said that? That's a perfectly timed message from Carragher to say, don't sell our best player, and I'm bringing it to the attention of the media. This is going to be all over the place, so don't think you're sneaking this one under. Not that you can sneak Phil under the radar, but you know what I'm saying. He's bringing it to the fans' attention, isn't he? And he's making sure that FSG know exactly how he feels. But sometimes it just, you do have to get off Twitter and you have to get off Liverpool social media because it's stressful.
But it keeps sucking you back in, doesn't it?
Yeah,
like I was out and about town earlier on, and we had Ben over for the game, so we were just fluting around town, and flicked on Twitter earlier on today, and we were both in dismay. The Sky Sports News tweet had come out that Coutinho said that he wanted, pretty much he'd be up for leaving. Mm-hmm. And then maybe an hour or two later we come back and up on Sky Sports News again is the transfer request. We've gone from complete dismay to complete ecstasy. Just over 2 stupid tweets or 2 separate news bulletins. Like, when you sit back and you step away from it, it's madness, isn't it? Just how much of a grip the football club has on our emotions.
Another thing though, Jonathan, is Gav touched on a minute ago about the ITKs not knowing load of stuff, and it's spot on, but a lot of fucking the news agencies like Sky and stuff, nobody got a sniff of this transfer request. A lot of stuff has just been almost like Sky have been complete ITKs to a point this summer, because they've got a lot wrong, as have other news outlets. So it's not just the ITKs that have had their pants pulled down this summer. Yeah, well, look, the whole Sky thing, just to cut in there, the whole Sky thing is a joke, really, because they're putting out information just to fuel their own betting agency. It's I know we've talked about it before, but I don't know. I don't see how they can get away with it, because they're just fueling their own business by just putting out hysteria. People have got to realise anymore. You hear some people saying, "Oh, this deal is going to happen. This deal is going to happen." Oh, it's not till it's on Sky. Sky are so outdated with their information. It's ridiculous. They're no longer the linchpin of.
Well, Sky sources at Twitter.
Oh, absolutely.
I've thought that for years. Sky sources tell us, no, you've had a quick look down the Twitter timeline and you saw some bloke who's got 18 followers, and you're going to jump all over it and say, "Is your source?"
Yeah, but Phil, the key to this is when everything was all about like Van Dijk or Keita, and it's being agreed, or it's being the bids or whatever it is. There's 100 people telling you what's going on, but when it's anyway negative, nobody's saying anything. You know, that kind of way. If you think Southampton, Liverpool, Leipzig, or any other club have taken a week to 10 days off, because that's how long it's been since we've had anything solid on these transfers. If you think they've taken a week to 10 days off, you're deluded. So
no.
why don't these lads hear this information as it's from their sources, as it's coming? Like, oh, they're still working on it, or there's movement on it. He's meeting. It's.
I think a lot of the problem is it's the press machine that comes out of a club that dictates what gets leaked. So you taking this Van Dijk stuff as a prime example, because it happened today. Why didn't Sky have that before? Well, Sky would have usually got that before. It? Well, he did pretty much. He kind of forced him into a situation where he came out and said that he'd done this transfer request, and this was his open letter to the fans. So the club were kind of forced into a situation where they had to deal with it. Saw a couple of, how reliable they are, I don't know, but I saw a couple of images from sort of fan chat rooms and stuff for the Saints, and there's a guy who they say is pretty reliable in there, and he doesn't message very often, but he basically came on and said he's forced their hand. He handed in the transfer request this morning, and within 5 or 6 hours of them having received it, and they're kind of working on the PR machine and what's going to be leaked to the press and how they're going to handle this with the fans, Virgil releases it himself.
You know what got me about that, Phil? I think it was actually 8 hours, he said. But I'm thinking, like, if the club can't fucking spin something in 8 hours, like, whoever's dealing with their PR wants to be fucking sacked.
Well, they were crying at the time, weren't they? So they were still sobbing.
Yeah, but it's not only putting out. It's not only PR. They have to then look at, the clubs that are clubs that are interested in him, because this Chelsea link keeps going around. But I'm not. I've joked that he's off to Chelsea. Look, he probably could be. I don't know, but I think it all points towards, especially his comments saying clubs. If the interest still exists from clubs, I think that's pretty telling on what he said. But they don't know. It's not only a PR exercise for them with the fans. It's also covering their bases with these clubs that are interested, and how they're going to line everything up for them. And
replacement players. So you know what happens. I mean, we were having a conversation off air earlier about Coutinho and Barcelona. And we were saying that we should instantly go back and say 190 something million, because that's what they got for Neymar. Other clubs behave in the exact same way. If a club's just coming to a load of cash, suddenly your players become more expensive, because you've got it there to pay. So if they know, if the transfer fee is, I don't know what it is, but let's say it's 70 million, because I've seen that number banded around. We pay 70 million for Van Dijk. Any player that they go to try and sign as a replacement, that club know they've got 70 million either in the bank, or they've got it coming in installments and stages. So therefore,
if a £15 million player is now a £40 million player.
100%. And look at where we are. The season starts soon. We're a handful of weeks away from the end of the transfer window.
We're 3 weeks off the end of the transfer window now, aren't we?
Exactly. So any replacement that they try and get in now is not only going to be more expensive because they've got money, they're going to be more expensive because that team has also then got less time to try and find their replacement.
Still not a fan of this whole transfer window closing after the season starts business, lads. I have to say, I think it's absolute horseshit.
I'm not a fan of the transfer window. Full stop. I have issues about freedom of movement and stuff like that. It just seems to be a thing in football. But I don't know. That's for another day. I won't go into that because we hear all fucking night.
Jonathan,
dropping deep stuff there, Gav.
Jonathan, we've
I got deep there. Yeah.
touched about Liverpool's transfers there, but just kind of got me thinking. Now we've very little time, so we'll just fly through it. But what other club's business has impressed you this summer? Going into the new season next weekend.
You'd have to say City, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're fucking. You gotta respect the way they go about things, though. Because to be honest, like the fans don't give a fuck how much is paid, do they? We just want the players on the pitch. So from City's fans' point of view,
and
I'm not sure that I saw that. They're never there.
And they have that oil bank of endless supply of money that they can just pretty much take 2 or 3 steps of the negotiation stage completely out of the process. City's is the first one that comes to mind. You think about the rest of the teams, Arsenal, poor. Considering they're probably going to lose.
What's impressed you most though about City? Just while we're on the subject of City, what I know you're a fan of Mendy, for instance, but what else?
Mendy for me. Walker, as much as we slag them, will still be a useful addition in that, because I know we joke about him not being able to cross, but he's not going to be pinging balls up in the air. I like the look of the new keepers as well. It's really about the way they've gone around their business. They've clearly targeted areas, positions, mainly the fullbacks, and they've gone and they've got their targets.
Still fucking scary that they're talking about Mbappe as well, isn't it?
They won't get him. He'll go to Real Madrid.
It's quality and quantity. People talk about, do you go for quality or quantity? They're going for both. If that keeper works for them, they're sorted there.
But they're not doing what Chelsea did when Abramovich first took over, which was just buy all these great players so you got an awesome squad, and then buy everyone else that your competitors were looking at.
Yeah, but you see, the thing, if you look at City, like your man Bravo in goal is just completely different when he plays international football to City. So I don't think he's as bad as you make out. If this new keeper's anyway decent, great. I think they've got 2 right backs and a left back now.
They've got what's his name from Danilo. Did they got Danilo? Did they?
Yeah, it's Danilo and Walker on the right, and they have Mendy on the left, and they were looking at Bertrand, but I don't know. But it's just quality and quantity. If you go through their squad, they've added in defenders. They have a great midfield, and they've added to it. They have a great attacking lineup, and they've added to it. And I said this a couple of weeks ago. I heard a guy, a Man City fan, on a podcast say that Sanchez, Mbappe, Ousmane Dembele in that order is what City are looking for. And if they can't get Sanchez, they will go for Mbappe. But they're doing what Pep does. He goes in and he wants the very best, and it gives him that push and that extra advantage, I suppose. But
do you know what fills me with confidence though about that, Gav, about Man City? What I still think they're that little bit soft at centre back.
Yeah, they are, because Company breaks down about 14 times a season, and he's a great defender, but that's the way he is. John Stones, I don't think is anyway as good as people make out. He's definitely not a £50 million defender. Otamendi is like Lovren to me. He's just fucking a bit of a head case. But City are going to be there and thereabouts. They must be favourites for the league. I haven't looked up the betting, but
they will be mine anyway.
Other teams, Arsenal are going to do something. If they lose Sanchez, I can see Arsenal bringing in 2 or 3 more and really going heavy in the last couple of weeks of the transfer window. United have got, although not their first choices, I don't think the likes of Lukaku and stuff, he does suit the way they play and the way Mourinho plays, that they'll do all right. But people are going on about Spurs, and I would have agreed with about Spurs, they need to add, but I actually heard a Spurs fan on a podcast last week, and he just said, look, we finished 17 points ahead of Team A and Team B or Team C last year. Yeah, we've done nothing. But have these people improved enough to get near us? It's a fair point. They have a squad there that they've lost nobody, bar Walker. But I think Trippier is as good a right back as him, in my opinion. They might add something in there, but Spurs aren't going to go to the end of the summer without signing 2 or 3.
It looks like Barkley could be going in there, which is a very clever piece of business.
Yeah, I think Barkley, with the pressure of playing for Everton, and it is pressure for him because of the local lad, I think he could excel in that Spurs team. His attitude is being questioned, but I think he's a quality footballer. But look, everyone's improving. There's no doubt about it. But we're talking about the others. But I think if Liverpool can get 2, 3 more, and I mean 2 and 3 proper first team players, they're as good as anyone. I don't care what anyone says.
I don't think we're getting 2 or 3 more players personally.
I think we get 3.
I'd like to. I just don't think we will.
Yeah, I think we get. I still think Van Dijk is there. I still think Keita is there, and I think there's one more just out of the blue signing where we just like. I just have this feeling FSG are going to do something crazy. They just have it in them, and for all it's being
as long as that crazy isn't selling Phil, I'm on board.
No, selling Phil is football suicide. To be honest with you, I don't know what it is. I think with all the hassle, supposed hassle they're taking over the summer with regards to signings and things haven't gone smoothly with. We know they haven't gone smoothly with a couple of deals. I just think if they keep Coutinho, which they should, as Phil touched on earlier, we've had Carragher come out and say it'll be riots. I think they might be look and just this could be me being a complete optimist and way with the fairies, and it probably is, but I think you might see them just still go over Keita and Van Dijk and keep Coutinho, and then just say, you know what, we'll show you what I'm fucking about, because they seem to have that ego about them, and they'll just come out and go, we'll show you, and bang in something absolutely mad. That's just my opinion, but we'll see what happens. I'm happy to go into the season with the squad we have now, though. I've always said that.
I'm all over that 3 transfers, by the way. That'll do me fine. Jonathan, I wanted to just move back to United for a second, because Gav mentioned them there, but we kind of just glossed over them. This is somewhere where I disagree, I suppose, to an extent with what Gav said. I don't think they've strengthened that much at all. I think they've had to replace 20 odd goals, and they've done that with a better striker. I do think that Lukaku was going to be better for them overall than Ibrahimovic. But after that, Lindelof, I don't really see as that much of an improvement. Who else have they gone out and signed? Lindelof, him. Matic, which is...
I disagree. And after watching them, I was about to say have the pleasure, but whatever way you want to call it, after having the opportunity to watch them close up here in Dublin last week, you're going to see they've developed into a very Mourinho-like team very, very quickly. They played... full of big, strong units that are going to be a very effective system. Not going to be horrible to watch, but they, without getting too nitty into it, they played with a back 3 and then Mapic just in front of that, and that allowed Pogba then to be a little higher up the pitch without any defensive duties, and it was literally Lukaku up front on his own, primarily hanging on the right channel, cutting inside, then long balls up to him on the right channel and cutting inside and having a go. But they're going to be hard to watch, but they're going to be effective in a way. You can see them just grinding out a lot of 1-0s, a lot of
their full backs, Jonathan, as well, were really hugging the touchlines, weren't they? Like, they were taking every spare inch on that pitch.
They were. Now, Sampdoria kind of shot themselves in the front. They had one of the narrowest. It started off with a back 5, then it switched to a back 3. One of the narrowest defences I've ever seen in my life, even by Italian standards. It was ridiculously narrow. So all the 2 guys either side, Valencia and who was on the left? Darmian, I think. They literally, you could have had 2 young lads out there, and they could have sat in the wings and had some time. I think they have improved, but they're maybe fighting for 4th or 5th. They could maybe nick 4th.
Phil, any thoughts?
Yeah, I'm probably somewhere in the middle. They have strengthened. I just don't think they've strengthened enough. I still don't think they'll finish in top 4. They might surprise us. I mean, Gav's just been talking about FSG doing something. United have got that in their locker as well. We know they have. There's a lot of money there that they're quite happy to go and slap down on someone. So if they feel that there's work to be done, I'm sure they'd go do it.
Bale was mentioned today, by the way.
Yeah, I can't see that happening. Not now, anyway. But as the squad stands right now, if the transfer window was to shut tonight, I'd say they're not going to finish inside top 4. personally, unless they have a good run of results.
I think I'd agree with you on that one. I think we'd finish ahead of them. I think Spurs would finish ahead of them, City would finish ahead of them, and Chelsea would finish ahead of them.
Agreed.
How small does Chelsea's squad look though in numbers?
Yeah.
I seen a thing yesterday. I think it was the back of the match programme for the Charity Shield. And Arsenal had about 40 players in their squad. And when I showed Chelsea's, they had about 20. And look, one fella replied and went, very interesting bench is going to be for Chelsea this season. It looks like he's gone with a really small squad. Now, I think Hazard is out at the moment, isn't he injured? But, or is he? I didn't even watch the match.
He is still out, yeah.
He's ill, yeah. So you're probably looking at him, and Costa wasn't there, wasn't he not?
There's talk is he's supposed to be going.
Yeah, but Costa?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the bridges are being burned there, but you never know. They could sort something out, but they just look like they've a really small squad. It could be something that he's looking at. He wants a really tight squad, but with the games they're going to have in Europe, like they did in last season, it looks a bit strange to me how small they are numbers-wise. But look, we're all talking about us doing business in the next 22 or 23 days or whatever it is. The opportunity is there for everyone else. Spurs will definitely do something. Arsenal are definitely going to do something because even without losing Sanchez, they need one or two. United, I think, are going to pull another one out of the bag. I think it might be a wide player. City are still looking for one more up front. Chelsea definitely need one or two more. There's plenty of movements going to happen in the next 3 weeks. There's no doubt about it. I think a lot of people are just keeping their powder dry and see who breaks first.
And the ever going to spend 50 million quid on Sigurdsson?
Yeah, I like Sigurdsson.
Yeah, he's a good player, but he's not a fucking £50 million player.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I know Koeman's going around saying he does want Sigurdsson. I think he said something about 3 more players, including 2 more strikers. I don't know how true that is, but
well, the money should be there, to be fair, because
the money is there because they have the Lukaku money and they have what looks like the Barkley money. So you're looking at 130 million odd between them, and they probably spent about 100 million so far. So even if they went out and spent another 50 or 60, it's only 30 million net spend, as they fucking call it. But
and their owner is like the richest person ever in the history of the world ever.
Yeah, sure, they're going to be playing on water.
They're getting a free stadium down at the docks as well.
Yeah, but everything for me can go one way or the other. I think you can nearly tell what way teams are going to play this season, and you can nearly pick your top 5 and 6. They're nearly nailed on, but everything can go one or two ways for me. They can either go really well and push for top 4, or it could go completely fucking wrong. And if it goes badly wrong, where did he go after such a big outlay? Where did he go? But no, they actually interest me this season. Everything. I'm actually really interested to see that they've put that money down. Now, I haven't said that they've sold 2 of their top players, but they have went and reinvested it and gone above that again. So they're a really interesting team for me this season, despite being Everton.
No, they're still shit though. To be fair, they're still going to be shit. I think. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Well,
the thing about them is they've no pace, isn't it? And even Everton fans are saying that they're really, really lethargic on the ball.
No pace, no pace, no class, no chance, no hope.
Yeah, but it showed in their
They've got Rooney though.
European qualifiers. Look.
Yeah, there's your injection of pace right there.
He's come home.
Yeah. But you see, the thing with Everton, the problem Everton have is a good season and they go 5th or 4th. That's a really good season. Anything else after that is disaster. If they finish 7th, it's disaster for them for the outlay. If they finish below 7th, they'll be calling for Koeman's head. So they're in a really, really tough position at the minute, I think.
Well, leave them to it. Lads, I have a couple of predictions I wanted you to make before the season starts, but I just want to draw attention to a young lad who's done a lot of work for us lately on our website, on our logos, on our headers, and we can't thank him enough. His name is Connor, and his Twitter handle is @DesignsByConnor. And if you've noticed any of our brilliant show logos or anything of our new header on Twitter and Facebook and social media, YouTube, the guy is uber talented, and we just want to give him the credit he deserves. So his Twitter name again, it's @DesignsByConnor. Check out his account, give him a follow. He may even do something for you if you ask him, because he's a nice lad. But we just wanted to draw your attention to him because we like to reward people for their good work, and Connor has outperformed himself. So thank you, Connor. Lads, to finish up today, I have a couple of predictions I wanted you to make for me. for the next season. And look, I know it's way early, but I'm going to hang you out to dry. So I want you to tell me, first of all, who's going to be player of the season for LFC this season? So I will come to Jonathan first on this one.
God, you've put me on the spot here because I haven't read the agenda. Coutinho.
Coutinho, love it. Phil?
Bobby
Firmino? Interesting. He could be on Penos now, so by the looks of things, could be on Penos. Gav?
Yeah, it's a tough one. I'm gonna have to go with Salah because I've gone with him for top scorer, so I'm gonna have to go with Salah.
Yeah, I'm in Gav's camp on this one. Salah will be my choice as well. He's really impressed me in pre-season. I just think we actually got him for a fucking snip when I see the prices that players are going for.
Just to add there as well, I expect him to be our top goal scorer, even with Bobby taking penalties.
He looks really happy to be at the club as well, lads, doesn't he? He's always smiling. He has time for the kids and everybody by the looks of things, and he looks like he's really enjoyed the move, and it's something that he wanted. So yeah, happy days. The top scorer in the Premier League, so not just Liverpool based, all around top scorer. Jonathan, you first again.
Oh. Kane.
Playing it safe. Going for the hat-trick for Harry Kane. I see he put up a tweet today actually of his 2 golden boots finally meeting each other, I think, or something like that he said. Fair play to him though. So Harry Kane for Jonathan. Gav, what about you?
Jesus off City.
Jesus off
I think he's going to rip the league apart.
Yeah, it still festers with me a little bit that we didn't get him. Do you know that? He looks like one hell of a player.
Yeah, he just looks like he can drop off. He can play that way. He can bring players into play, and he just seems to be decent from anywhere around the box. But he also seems to be on the spot as well. You know, when things drop and stuff. I think he's up there. I think he just nudges out Salah as top scorer in the league.
What's amazing though is that even the City fans don't seem to have any qualms about him pushing Aguero out already. Like he's their go-to striker.
He looks like an Aguero from about 5 years ago. That's what he looks like to me. Like he just has everything about him, and he's more of a poacher, I think, than Aguero. Like he just looked phenomenal when he was playing for City, and I think he got a metatarsal injury or something along them lines and was out for a long while. But he just looks electric, that fella. And with the supply he's going to have, he's going to have probably about 6 or 7 good chances every game.
Yeah, that's a fair show. Phil, who are you putting down for top scorer?
I've got 2 and I can't decide between them, but I'm going to have to call one. And they're completely out of left field. I reckon Lacazette could do quite well. I think it depends on how quickly he settles into the league, but I think he could do quite well. Whether or not he'd be top scorer or not, I don't know. I'm probably going to go with my absolute random choice and watch him score like 2 goals all season and maybe look like a proper mug. But I'm actually going to go with Javier Hernandez. I think the way West Ham play, even when they're sitting back, just lumping balls up to the big man to knock down for him, being the tiny little poacher that he is, I think he'll get a fair few goals this season. And West Ham didn't play some. I mean, they were hit and miss, weren't they, last season? But when they were on fire, they played quite well. I reckon a striker like him would actually get a fair few goals. So, yeah, let me go with him.
Yeah, he's in my fantasy team because he was cheap enough and I needed a third striker. So I was in the boat with you there, thinking, yeah, he might bag a few. Yeah. I'd probably go with Jonathan on this one. I'd play it safe and think Harry Kane will probably be top scorer again because he's just improving year on year. And as much as I don't want to like him, I can't help but like him because he's quality and he's absolute quality, and he certainly knows where the goal is. Right, player of the season for the entire Premier League. So not just Liverpool related. So the Premier League player of the season for the coming season. Phil, I'm hanging you out to dry first on this one.
Good man. Player of the season. I'm going to go with one of ours. I'm going to go with Salah.
Love it.
I reckon he'll get a load of assists. He'll bag a few goals as well, and he'll just take the Premier League by storm. I'm going with Salah.
So can I ask how Bobby Firmino could be our player of the season, but Salah somehow becomes...
Because nobody likes Bobby's teeth. That's the problem. Bobby's teeth scare the rest of the Premier League, so they won't vote for him. There's a picture of him smiling on the voting ballot box, and it just terrifies the life out of everyone.
Especially his wife, I'd say, at this point. Gav, you've heard that Phil's an absolute hypocrite. So
and massively. You know what? I'm thinking. It made me think because I have Salah as our top scorer. I have Jesus as the top scorer in the whole league. But I'm actually going to go for Phil Coutinho as the player of the season. And I'll tell you why.
Hedge your bets, lad.
No, I'll tell you why. Because if you watch it, I think Coutinho could have... I'll put it this way. I think Coutinho could have 15, 16 goals this season, where Salah could have 25. But I think Coutinho could hit 10, 15 assists as well. And I think if he has that all-round game coming from a bit deeper, it gives him that advantage over Salah with a vote. And I probably would have went for Salah. Would have probably been the pick to go for, but I just think Coutinho's all-round game might just edge it for him.
Jonathan,
that's if he's still here.
I'm staying, unlike the two flutes there. I'm staying consistent and then going with my Liverpool Player of the Year, Coutinho, to win overall Player of the Year. Obviously, there's a little bit of assumption there that he stays. I really hope he does, and if he does, he's really going to thrive in that midfield role. With the options he has of assists with Mane and Salah. I think he's going to thrive. I think he's going to score a lot more goals from midfield because it's going to be a lot harder to defend against him. He's going to have pockets of space from deeper, and he's going to get a buckload of assists. And if we play well, Coutinho will play well, and we're going to win the league, so it has to be Coutinho for Player of the Year.
Good man.
I'm happy to get on that boat as well, but I'm going to be a bit different. I'm going to kind of go with the young lads. So there's two players that crossed my mind. The first one was Dele Alli, because he had a goals to his game last year and he's just progressing more and more every season, and I think his ceiling is going to be really, really high. But somebody else who's kind of shined in pre-season and kind of was hit and miss is Leroy Sané. I absolutely adore that young lad, and I think if he hits form, he's going to tear it up. I think he could sneak it under the radar, so I'm going to stick my neck on the line and go for one of those two. I'll probably be wrong, but I usually am. So look, the last one, and this is the most important one of the whole lot, so this is the one I really want you to be careful on. Who is going to win the Wolves Contributors Fantasy Premier League?
Oh, it's easy.
Go on, Mr. Fucking hypocrite. Go on.
No, it's easy. It's Grizz. He has contacts in every club everywhere. He's going to know the form of the players. He's going to know the results before they happen. It's definitely Grizz.
That's a fair point, Gav.
Gav?
Yeah, I was saying, coming to you, it's a fair point, Gav, what he's just said.
Sorry. I thought he was Gav.
You haven't a hope winning on it, Gav.
I haven't even entered yet, so I think I have to enter to win. And I always do it on the Thursday before. It's like a superstition, but it never works because I literally pick a team and then just leave it there till next May. And when I go back next May, it turns out 7 of my players have been fucking season injuries about 3 weeks in, so I won't be winning. It's Keith by a country mile. It's Keith.
You're buying he's blowing smoke up his own arse, and you're buying it. You're falling for hook, line, and sinker.
No, he lives and breathes this stuff. You know, it's Keith for me.
Jonathan, you gonna back yourself?
No, I'm putting all the pressure on Keith as well. A bit of a double bluff. I'm going to stay on the QT and sneak up. Keith talks the talk. So let's see if he can walk the walk. A bit more pressure. Come on, Keithy.
It's a tough one, isn't it? Because common sense dictates that it's going to be Keith, but I know how much of an absolute footballing nerd Jonathan is. I witnessed it firsthand at the games recently when he was marking down every substitution and the times, and he was doing everything. So, Jonathan, you've got my vote on this one. I think you're going to be the sly dog to come up on the inside right at the end and win it. So, for me, it's Jonathan, lads.
I think Jonathan's going to...
You know something as well? You need someone that's obsessed, you know, the kind of way, and really into it, and that's where Keith comes in. But you need someone that just it either goes two ways: one obsessed, or one that just doesn't care and ends up just getting it. So another pick for me might be Tino. Actually, I think Tino's a little fucker that he might be watching his team day in day out and doing stuff.
You don't know what to make of Tino, do you? Because he's a strange little chap, isn't he? You really yeah, he's very deep. You don't realise quite how deep and calculated he is.
I'd say he has about 11 teams in our league.
Yeah.
I'd say he's about 11 teams in our leagues under all different aliases and all,
And he'll find a legal loophole as well to make his argument as to why he should be allowed those 11 teams.
Yeah.
I'm actually worried now that he might actually own the Anfield Road Wolves Twitter account from some of the stories he told me. I might have to check if I've signed anything that he sent me over the last few months.
I know.
Phil, you wanted the last word?
Yeah, do you know what? Jonathan might actually be a good shout. I'm just thinking about his question to Klopp the other day. That the answer seems to have gone viral. If we can get him doing that in front of every manager, we'll know everything about everybody. It'd be brilliant.
I think we should mention the war, for fuck's sake. Don't mention the war.
But we should. We should get Jonathan in front of every manager and just let him loose. See what happens. If all else fails, it'd be a funny car crash to watch. But no, I think, listen, that question, the answer was everywhere. So yeah, did a banging job with that. So yeah, if you can turn that into fantasy football manager skills, you're laughing, mate.
You know what's going to happen now? We're going to get off the pod, and Jonathan's going to turn around to us and say, "I wonder if my question actually pushed Van Dijk into handing in that transfer request."
I think that's a given.
I'd say Jonathan is interviewing himself in front of the bathroom mirror, saying exactly the same fucking thing.
Commitment style.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking.
I got the whole social media and all media platforms talking, didn't I? It was the question everybody wanted that I made up on the spot. But there you go. Nothing like a bit of quick thinking.
Yeah, it was a great few days. I have to say, it was a really good Saturday. I hope everybody that was at the game in Dublin enjoyed it. I know we certainly did.
Just wanted to touch on that, Craig. There, what a wonderful, wonderful day we all had together. The few of us that were over. So it was great to see so many Reds, and apart from one dodgy Mexican wave, the atmosphere was amazing. The You Never Walk Alone beforehand was just amazing. There was a great atmosphere before the game, during the game, after the game. It was just a great, great day, and seems to have got positive feedback from the Klopp and the players as well. But just wanted to touch on what an amazing day.
Yeah, the city certainly took to having the Reds over. There was parties everywhere. There was lots of the hotels and pubs had stuff on. It was great as well to see young Abby walk out with the team. And Jonathan we got to spend a little bit of time with Abby and Terry before the game, and they're a lovely family and they're lovely people, and it was great to see her father work so hard to get his daughter her dream, and she walked out on the pitch with Origi, I believe. Jonathan, was it?
Yeah, it was Origi. Yeah.
She should have stayed on and he should have come up.
Well, that's it. Yeah. she's one to watch for the future anyway. But that was one of my highlights of the day, and it was great to see so many kids at the game as well, Gav, wasn't it? There was loads of them at the game.
Oh yeah, it was brilliant. It was a great day all around. The weather tried to ruin it, particularly before. I know pubs and bars and hotels and stuff had stuff going on before it, and the rain tried its best. But now everyone seemed to soldier on, and it was great. Walking down towards the ground just to see a red everywhere, and everyone having a great time. So that's all you want, isn't it? A good day out. Liverpool won, some good performances, and
then an amazing press conference.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, if I hear the words, skip to 3 minutes 49 one more fucking time, I swear to God. But no, it was a great day. It really was. So roll on Saturday, and
he's gonna get those.
Go again.
Do you remember those Stone Cold T-shirts where he used to have 316 on his top?
Yeah.
Jonathan's getting T-shirts made up right now.
What do you mean? What do you mean getting? He's wearing it.
Yeah. It's like you see in the Gaelic football in Ireland. There's a lad that stands on the terrace with John 316. I can just see him with Jonathan 349 standing on the terrace. But no, look, in all seriousness, now it was a great day, and a lot of young people there seeing Liverpool for the first time, and especially after the game, the players went around the perimeter of the pitch and gave some time to young fans. And I just wanted to touch on the lad that ran on the pitch as well. Turns out he did get his photo. I've seen it online. He managed to get it. Mane looks a bit worried in it. because you can see the stewards coming at him at about 100 mile an hour. But no, the lad got there in the end, and fair play to him. And to the stewards were a fucking disgrace, to be fairly honest with you. But no, fair play to that lad as well.
Yeah, the crowd weren't shy about letting the stewards know they were arseholes, were they, when they came back out without the young lad?
Yeah, and rightly so.
And it was a great day for everybody. Good PR for the club, great for all the young fans, great for ourselves to be at the game, great to meet so many people. It's nice to end it on a positive this week, lads. Gav has got to be back on Thursday with ARW Weekly, where we might be recording a little something on Wednesday, but I'm not going to commit to that one yet. Then Jonathan will be back on Saturday after the Watford game with an off the cuff, the first one of the season. Jonathan, are you looking forward to it?
I'm actually away at a wedding there, so I think Gav is going to take over on Saturday.
Yeah. I'll just pretend to be you, and I'll talk about
just mention
about that question for about 20 minutes.
Sure, yeah, exactly. And you think I was remember there.
No, Jonathan's in a cycle at the moment where everyone he knows is getting married. He's at about 4 weddings a week at this stage. No, I'll be doing it on Saturday.
So you mean, hang on, you mean to tell me that you're not going to have them delay the wedding so that you can do this 30-minute podcast, Jonathan? I mean, that's the least they could do. It is the first game of the season.
Dedication, mate.
I'm sure I can work something about it. Either case, I'll definitely have Sky Go on my phone. No matter what's going on at the time, even if it is the Churchill, I'm sure I'll squeeze something in.
Well, that gives Gav till Saturday to work on his Galway accent, so we're good to go.
Yeah, I won't be working on that accent. Not a fucking chance. No, I'll be there on Saturday. We'll have an off the cuff on Saturday for everyone. So I don't know, 40-45 minutes after the game ends, hopefully a victory, and we can all have a good chat about it. And we'll see you then, yeah.
Brilliant. Thanks so much to Gav, Jonathan and Phil for joining me this week. I've been your host, Craig, and we'll talk to you soon.